This is a $100 bill. You can pretty much guess how much this is worth in your currency or in naira. The minimum wage in Nigeria is currently 30,000 naira, or essentially $62, which simply means that this is the minimum amount an employer should pay an employee. This single $100 note, as at the time of making this video, is worth 48,000 naira. Imagine making this much per day. Disclaimer though, it's really tough. However, in this video, we'll talk through some things that you can do to push you towards the goal of up to $100 in a day. But let me give you my quick backstory. I remember the first time I made money online from my graphic design work. It was $500. And I made a design for a tech company at the time. I remember I was in the bus, the BRT to be specific, and I screamed like a crazy person in the bus. People were confused and they were like, who is this dude? Like, why is he making noise? A lady was like, excuse me, why are you being loud? Little did they know. Anyway, I'm going to share everything I know and I've learned from my personal experience and from other people's experiences on how you can make your first dollar online if you haven't, and even go as high as earning as much as $100 in a single day on the internet. No strings attached, no get-rich-quick schemes. I'm not charging you for anything. I already made a video about my streams of income and how I make $500 per day, and you guys watch that video like crazy. In that video, I break down my 5 streams of income, and in every single detail. I suggest that you watch that video after you watch this video, of course. I'll leave a link in the description to that video if you want to see that. I want to say that if anyone wants to increase whatever they earn, they can tackle it in 3 ways. First of all, they can tackle it aggressively, they can tackle it defensively, or they can combine both of them, which is actually the best way to go about it. If you want to increase your income situation aggressively, you have to work really hard and smart to increase your income, and that's just putting it mildly. If you want to do it defensively, it means you need to cut back on spending without planning. You need to start budgeting, you need to start cutting costs and not live above your means. A combination of the both of them will actually bring forth great results. And what I want to share here are a few things that you can consider on your path. Please note that the points I'm going to mention are not some, quick, easy paths to success. They require hard work, and that's what helps people make it, truly. In this video, I also mention dollar amounts a lot, but if you want to figure out the naira amount, simply multiply any dollar amount I mention by 480, which is the parallel exchange rate as at the time of making this video. All right, if you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for clicking on this video, and I'd love it if you could take one more step to hit that like button so that more people can see the analysis that we're about to share. And as we always say on the channel, without further ado, let's get to the video. The first way I always swear by is graphic design. In my video on how I make $500 a day, I talked about my journey into graphic design, but not in so much detail because I wanted to still take out some more things. I started out by drawing in school. I drew comic books and learned a couple of things along the way. I also started out by taking courses on graphic design. One of the first courses which I mentioned was typography by Anna Saltz. I'll leave a link in the description to watch that course. It really changed my life. Then I copied many creative designs I could find from flyers, posters, and everything I could see in Unilag back then, and I recreated them to my taste until I became much better. I later majored in user interface design, and my graphic design career grew. I was able to make over $500 to $1,000 for every design that I did at the time. It was now just a matter of how much work I wanted to put into it. The basic point is to perfect that skill and be open to learning a lot. The second way you can earn up to $100 a day is portrait photography. Portrait photography is another huge way you can make money, and my friend Amazing Clef takes some of the best portraits in the country right now, and he has even expanded his business to include shows with celebrities. I'm not sure of what he currently charges, but Amazing Clef's portraits can be as low as $200 for a photo and even more. Chai! God, when I can snap pictures. But the thing is, he perfected the skills and he didn't stop learning and growing and evolving. This is the way it should be. Now, almost everyone wants to take a photo with him, but he's actually really booked and busy, and that would even make the charges much higher. Now, speaking of using the camera, videography is one of the most lucrative sources of income for people, especially now that we're in a global economy. Companies and business owners are actually looking for people who can tell their story in a nice video form, and you can be that person for them, and can be the person behind the camera. I would know because not only do I now make videos for a living, more on that later, I used to make videos commercially for people. Videos capture a lot more than pictures would, and you can form a story or a narrative, and this can in turn influence people and help the creator or the business owner achieve certain goals. You will definitely need some sort of training, and YouTube, this platform, is packed with free resources and videos on how to edit, cut and export video projects, the right software to use, and even how to make videos with your phone. Yes, one of the biggest tech YouTubers in Nigeria, Eric Okafor, aka New Kid, actually uses his phone to make videos, and he has garnered over 140,000 subscribers. This just goes to show that it's the story that's important. Another point is wedding coverage. If there's anything that Nigerians love more than whiskey, Davido and jollof rice, probably it's weddings. The Nigerian wedding market is a multi-million-dollar industry. Even statistics according to Google show that Nigerians have broken out keyword search rankings for celebrity weddings and the latest Ankara fashion styles. We Google weddings a lot. It's a culture, it's a huge industry. I've heard stories of wedding photographers and videographers charging close to ₦1 million for coverage, which is around $2,000 at the time of making this video, and some even charge way more. I can't imagine how much is spent on that alone, and then you consider catering, the hall and decoration. A friend of mine, Timmy Davis, is one of the very prominent wedding photographers and videographers in Nigeria that I know, and has been able to build his business from the ground up. He has also specialized in weddings, and you just need to check out his work. It's very lovely, for lack of a better word, to watch, and it's very emotional. But wow, Nigerians love weddings. Now, as someone who spent a better part of his life being a graphic designer, I've also met a few coder friends of mine. Some are also acquaintances, and the numbers I hear, although they vary, they're actually quite lucrative. I remember taking a week to see how I could start putting together resources to even learn how to be a coder myself, but my workload didn't allow me. I usually still wish I could code and develop websites and apps, but I know for a fact that developers can actually get as high as $2,000 to $10,000 to develop a single app. Also, people could even develop their own apps and push them to the Play Store or the App Store. They can design their own website and code it and make money through advertising on their platform. That way, they can generate a sustainable income for themselves with the skill of web design, app development, and you can either work for yourself or you can work for a company, and you can even make way more than $100 a day. But it takes a lot of discipline, a lot of time, and even months to finish one single project. But it's rewarding. Now, selling assets online is another avenue. If you feel like you want a more passive approach, the option of selling digital assets online is one I would recommend for someone who's either reached a very good point in maybe their creative career, design, photography, videography, and even coders or web developers. If you can develop websites, you can take a design you've made and turn it into a web theme for people to purchase on a site like WordPress or ThemeForest. You can make money just by working once. The same thing applies to graphic designers and photographers who can sell like their icons or layers of a design that they've used previously. Photographers can do this on Freepik, on Splash, Shutterstock, and many more websites to name a few. Videographers can even sell videos that they've made and license it for a fee on Shutterstock. The opportunity is just endless, and once you've mastered something and you can redistribute the gains quickly and they add up. I know a friend of mine and a YouTuber called M. who also sells presets for photography. Even Amazing Clef that I mentioned in the photography section of this video also sells courses on how he edits his own pictures. Also guys, if you're finding this video useful so far, do consider hitting that like button. It will really go a long way in helping this video get discovered and helping more people benefit from the knowledge that we're sharing here. And consider hitting that subscribe button, the bell icon beside it, so you'll be the first to know when I post any video. Alright, back to the list. Another point is affiliate revenue, and I combine this with studying and saving money. If there's anything I usually advise people to do, especially if you want to go far in your career, is to actually study hard about the field you're interested in. And believe me, it works. Not only are you influencing your own mind to grow much better, you're also learning skills that you will apply along the way of your success. One of the books I always recommend people read is The Millionaire Next Door. This book absolutely changed my mind about money and personal finance. I'll leave a link in the description on Audible where you can get it free for 30 days. In one of my previous Finance Friday videos where I talked about money mistakes and the things I wish I knew better, I was also talking about how I could have started budgeting or essentially being defensive with my spending. I should have cut back on more stuff at the moment, that I did, and my eyes started to open. Anyway, I was able to somehow manage to put away some money and live below my means, which in turn helped me to grow financially. Again, I also became one of the first ambassadors for Music Bed in Africa, which is a service that I use for all the songs on my channel. I also work with Jumia, and I also work with Amazon affiliates as well. I can't place an exact dollar value on reading and saving, to be specific, but it's a whole lot, and it has transformed me totally. Another option is also investing in stocks and cryptocurrency. All right, I'm sure you saw this coming, or you probably didn't. Investing in stocks from global companies and also in the cryptocurrency assets. The first video I made this year, how I made up to $10,000 with financial apps. I included companies like Bamboo and Trove that help Nigerians invest in stocks in the United States. I know people that have also gained a lot of money this way. And in fact, I know people who put their entire salary right into the app just so that they can hedge against the dollar. By the way, if you're Nigerian and you're watching this video, I made a video about why the naira and dollar rate is the way it is, and I also talked about inflation and how it affects the economy. And I want you to watch that video to just get educated a bit. If you're in the US, however, I've also partnered with Webull, and they were generous enough to people who are watching this video. So if you're in the US and these other countries displayed here, you can get up to 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 if you deposit $100 with the link in the description below on Webull. They're a very prominent trading platform, and they even started trading Dogecoin. Cryptocurrency is also one of the ways people make money these days. I did a video on how you can buy cryptocurrency in Nigeria following the ban. But the thing is, it's a very risky asset, and there are stable platforms that will help with good interest, but it's one of the ways many people actually make money. Although I personally don't advise people to put their money into something that they can't afford to lose, so be very careful if you're doing cryptocurrency. I personally use it more as a means of exchange than as an investment tool, if you get what I mean. But if you want to use it as an investment tool, please don't put more than what you can afford to lose. Social media promoters and influencers also could make a lot of money. There's a joke that almost everyone with followers on Twitter is an influencer, but it's also possible to stand out in this niche. Usually when people attain a following, say like 5,000 followers, they join a category that online marketers like to call micro influencers. Marketers and even companies use these kinds of people to promote products because, first of all, they're relatively affordable for the company since they won't ask for higher fees that influencers with much larger followings would ask, or celebrities. And they have, the word of mouth level because people with modest followings most likely know a lot of people that follow them compared to someone with, say, 50,000 followers who might not even know more than 90% of the people following them. Promoters who have a micro influencer level of following, say 5 to 10,000 followers in Nigeria, can earn anywhere between $20 to $60 per post, depending on what you're doing for the brands or products and services you're promoting. And you can even charge higher fees if you're doing something more unique. The last but not least is creating original content or starting either a YouTube channel, a podcast, a blog, or just something that has consistent flow on social media. This is kind of similar to the previous post, but not entirely. For this, the prospects of gaining income immediately is almost non-existent to little. And many people I know who are content creators or generally creative people that showcase their work online, they mostly started with a passion that they had for the field. My friend Tayo Aino Films is someone who started out for the love of exploring places and people. My friend also Muhammad Agbadi is also an illustrator that brought his passion and translated it into something bigger for the world to see. It's now more intentional and requires a lot more thinking and consistency, but the overall goal is to create something you love and something that is of value to the people who are watching you or reading your work or following the piece of yourself that you choose to show and share to the world. In terms of the dollar amount or how much you can make here, it really depends on how consistent you are and how much you're willing to learn. In one of my previous Finance Friday videos where I talked about the $500 a day income, I broke down how YouTubers earn and how much I actually earn from YouTube and the rest of them. So if you're interested, The link is in the description below. I'm really curious to hear from you. What are you currently doing now for work or your passion? And if you don't mind sharing how much you make in the comment section below, I'll leave a heart and I'll reply you. And also, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Let's chat. If you found this video useful, do consider hitting that like button and also consider hitting that subscribe button and the bell icon beside it so you'll be the first to know when I post a new video. All right, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.